The second type of isomer is cis trans isomers. Carbons have covalent bonds to the same atoms, but these atoms differ in the special arrangement due to the inflexibility of double bonds. Single bonds allow the atoms they join to rotate freely about the bond axis without changing the compound. In contrast, double bonds don't permit such rotation. So X represents an atom or group of atoms attached to a double bonded carbon. As you see here, in cis isomer, the two X groups are on the same side. In trans, the two X's group are on opposite sides. The third type of isomers is enantiomers or are enantiomers. Enantiomers are isomers that are mirror images of each other and that differ in shape due to the presence of an asymmetric carbon. Then the four groups can arrange in space around the symmetric carbon in two different ways that are mirror images to each other. So enantiomers are in way left-hand and right-handed version of the molecule. Just as your right hand won't fit into a left-handed glove, a right-handed molecule won't fit into the same space as the left-handed version. Usually only one isomer is biologically active, one of them, because only that form can bind to a specific molecule in an organism. The concept of enantiomers is important in the pharmaceutical industry because the two enantiomers of a drug may not be equally effective, as the case for both ibuprofen and the asthma medication albuterol. In this example, showing the importance of enantiomers, the S-ibuprofen and R-ibuprofen molecules are mirror images of each other, and only the S-enantiomers or S-ibuprofen is effective at reducing inflammation and pain. The R and S enantiomers are mirror images, and only R albuterol is effective at relaxing bronchial muscle and improving airflow in asthma patients. So in this case, S-ibuprofen is effective, and in albuterol, the R-albuterol is effective. Consider the differences between estradiol and testosterone. Estradiol is a type of estrogen, and testosterone. These compounds are female and male sex hormones, respectively. This is estrogen, and this one is testosterone. In a human, these two forms of hormones found in humans and other vertebrates, both are steroid organic molecules with common carbon skeleton in the form of four fused rings. They differ only in the chemical groups attached to the rings. We call those functional groups. So functional groups are the components of organic molecules that are most commonly involved in chemical reaction. There are 7 chemical groups that are most important in the chemistry of life. We have hydroxyl group, carbonyl group, carboxyl group, amino group, sulfur group, methyl group, phosphate group. Hydroxyl group OH is polar due to electronegative oxygen form hydrogen bonds with water, helping dissolve compounds such as sugar. Compound name alcohol, a specific name usually ends in -ol. So the compound name that contain hydroxyl group are always named alcohol or with -ol. Represent that or indicate that this molecule has an hydroxyl group. Carbonyl group CO. This group found in sugars. Sugars with ketone are called ketoses. Those with aldehyde are called aldoses. So we have aldoses and ketoses. Compound name ketone, carbonyl group is within a carbon skeleton. In ketone, the carbonyl group within the skeleton, an aldehyde group or an aldehyde molecule sugar, the carbonyl group, functional group at the end of the carbon skeleton. Carboxyl group, COOH, act as an acid, can donate hydrogen ion because the covalent bond between oxygen and hydrogen is so polar. So compound name is carboxylic acid or organic acid. Amino group, NH2, act as base, can pick up an hydrogen ion from the surrounding solution, water, or in living organisms. Compound name, amine. So in amino group, this group acts as base. Why? Because it's pick up or strip hydrogen atoms from the solution or from the water they were dissolved. And of course, the compound name is amine. You need to memorize all of these groups and their function. Sulfhydryl group SH, two SH can react, forming a cross-link that helps stabilize protein structure. Hair protein cross-links maintain the straightness or curlness of hair. In hair salon, permanent treatment break the cross-link, then reform them while the hair in the desired shape. So compound name is called thiol. Methyl group CH3 affect the expression of genes when binding to DNA or to proteins that bind to DNA, affect the shape and function of male and female sex hormones. Compound name, methylated compound. Phosphate group OPO3 or PO4 contribute negative charge when positioned inside a chain of phosphate. When attached, converts a molecule the ability to react with water, releasing energy. So the compound name is organic phosphate. The phosphate group in this slide shows simple example of an organic phosphate molecule. A more complicated organic phosphate, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. This is an organic phosphate molecule, is worth mentioning here because its function in the cell is so important. It's produced by mitochondria. Those are molecules that store energy in their bonds. So ATP consists of an organic molecule called adenosine attached to a string of 3 phosphate group. And this is very important. ATP powered all cellular function and activity. When the 3 phosphate groups are present in a series as ATP, adenosine triphosphate, one phosphate may be split off as a result of reaction with water. Having lost one phosphate, ATP becomes ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So ATP stores the potential energy that reacts with water. This reaction releases energy to use by cell. And again, ATP is produced by mitochondria. In the process of oxidation of molecules or food molecules such as sugars, we obtained from plants, and plants produce glucose and other foods, organic foods, by the process of photosynthesis.